Hey everybody, it's Lee. I know we're heading into the off season, so we wanted to give a shout out to our title sponsor, NHL Sense Arena, one more time. And again, we have a coupon for $50 off an annual subscription when you use Hockey Never Stops at hockey.sensearena.com. I always like to remind everybody, I've been using this thing for 6 months and I'm just blown away, not just from the VR aspect of it and the virtual reality side of things, but the ability to give different perspectives of the game, whether I'm playing as a goaltender. And I got to admit, it is really hard, but it has really given me a perspective from that point of hockey, which has made me a better coach and a better ice hockey player, or the skater modes, which help you work on cognitive skills and other things like heads up play that you don't normally get to work on in a practice or a game. So I implore you to check it out. It helps us out, it helps them out. Support our title sponsor, NHL Sense Arena. Get $50 off an annual subscription when you use Hockey Never Stops at hockey.sensearena.com. Again, that's Hockey Never Stops. That's the code at hockey.sensearena.com. Check it out. And without further ado, enjoy this episode of Our Kids Play Hockey. Hello, hockey skaters and goalies around the world, and welcome back to another edition of the Ride to the Rink. This is Lee hosting today. We got a question from one of you out there today, a young man named Logan, who has a question about leadership. Let's listen to it.
Hi guys, my name is Logan. I want to be a role model because I want people to look up to me. Why? Because I want to be a trustworthy teammate. What do you admire most about leaders?
This is going to be a fun episode because Mike, Christie, and myself are all going to answer Logan's questions. Let's start with Mike.
Oh, thanks so much for this question. What do I admire most about leaders? Well, at the youth hockey level, well, a lot of levels, but really at the youth hockey level, what I admire most and look for in leaders are those players, I think, that can lead with compassion. Players that understand that they can be in the locker room and understand that other players might be going through adversity. A leader, somebody saying they could stand up to somebody that's not treating a teammate well. A leader at the youth hockey level for me is somebody that can be the voice of reason on the bench when even the coach gets heated or other parents get heated up and maybe it's not going your way with the officials. Having the maturity and the ability to step back and really look at the big picture for a young player is so important in building those leadership qualities. I do think they could be learned. I do think they need to be worked on. I think that we need, as coaches and adults, to help foster those pieces in a leader. But really, I think the way I would describe it to a young hockey player or an athlete is compassion. Think about how you want to be treated, how you feel you want to be talked to, how you feel you'd like to be dealt with in a difficult situation, and then use that compassion as a leader. Use that to be the person who can then help other teammates and adults around you be better people. And I think that's really where leadership comes from the youth hockey or the youth sports perspective. But again, thanks for the question. It was great, and I look forward to hearing everybody else's answers as well.
Fantastic stuff from Mike. Let's turn over to Christy.
Leadership. Yes, let's talk about that. So a lot of kids think that the leader of the team is the coach, but kids can be leaders of their teams too. This is important to understand the responsibility that it takes to be a leader, your ethics, your strong work attitude. Also, you want to make sure that you have characteristics like integrity and honesty, confidence, discipline, leading by example. Be the leader that you want other kids to be by setting that good example. And you know, the most important quality for a good leader is putting the good of the team ahead of yourself. That's what I think makes a good leader.
I love it. You know, Logan, my answer to this is pretty simple. What I look for in a great leader is somebody that puts their team first, somebody that understands that they are part of something larger than themselves, and they can make the decisions, sometimes the really hard decisions, to lead that group of people towards whatever the goal is, whether it be victory in hockey, something at work, or something in life. You know, when I looked up to the leaders growing up, they were all these larger-than-life hockey players, but the one thing they had in common that I could always see was that they really, really cared about their teammates, they cared about their team, and they cared about winning. They cared about doing the things that were necessary in order to find the way forward. And that's going to be my final thought for the episode. Once you put your team and your teammates first, you put yourself in that equation as well. And to have that discipline and the contract that you sign with yourself to put in the work, to put in the daily habits, to put in the grind that you need to do to make sure that you're at the top of your game, both as a person and as a player. That's my advice. That's what I admire in great leaders. A fantastic question from you, Logan. Thank you for sending it in. For all of you listening to the Ride to the Rink, if you want to submit the audio of your question, send it over to team@ourkidsplayhockey.com. You can have your parents' email it there, or you can find us online at Our Kids Play Hockey on Facebook or the website ourkidsplayhockey.com and find a way to submit it to us. We want to hear from you and do more episodes like this. But for Christie Casciano Burns and Mike Bonelli, I'm MJ Elias. Thanks so much for listening to this edition of the Ride to the Rink. We'll see you next week, everybody. Skate on. We hope you enjoyed this edition of Our Kids Play Hockey. Make sure to like and subscribe right now if you found value wherever you're listening, whether it's a podcast network, a social media network, or our website, ourkidsplayhockey.com. Also, make sure to check out our children's book, When Hockey Stops, at whenhockeystops.com. It's a book that helps children deal with adversity in the game and in life. We're very proud of it. But thanks so much for listening to this edition of Our Kids Play Hockey, and we'll see you on the next episode.